violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Am I being detained?
Well, absolutely. You got an open bottle of liquor. I could cite you and arrest you.
No, I said, am I being detained?
Yes.
The body camera
The body camera's on.
Yeah, body camera.
Yeah, but what? Yeah, that's what I just asked him. He said he's being detained, so I need your ID.
So guys, I wanted to break down this video because it shows multiple things going on here. Guys, a little defensive. It's Detroit, so I get it. You know, a lot of things are going down in Detroit. The officers are getting bombarded in Detroit, sometimes ambushed, like we seen in Baltimore with that female cop. And you can see Buddy's a little fidgety. But what happens next is completely insane.
I didn't hear that part. Just call.
I'm
Glenn,
just asking because y'all put it up. Of course, y'all know I have the right to stand.
You have the right to ask a question, but
I'm
yeah,
not
I
about
gotta
to
get
go.
you.
I'm not about to go in all in too deep until y'all get to getting too deep. You know what I mean? So
No, I'm good.
I'm about
Just
to
need your ID.
I'm about to give you your. You know, I really don't have to.
See, and that was just a gunshot right there, but he doesn't want to give his ID. He has an open container. He's about to get arrested. And my man is trying to talk his way out of it. And I get it, you know. If you could talk your way out of it, then shout out to you, but he's doing a lot.
You know, I really don't have to. See? Now what? So now what? So now what?
Right there. 11, 13 shots.
So he's talking about some, so now what? Dudes is shooting all around. They were shooting at the officers. And this is pretty much a summation of what's going on in Detroit and other cities, you know, across the U.S.
Now what? Now what? Are you scared now?
Detroit Central, get a vehicle taken off. You get your lucky day. I gotta go. Somebody's shooting.
So he talking about you scared now and all this type of stuff. I mean, he was standing straight up, about to get arrested. And then when the gunshots came, he's just chilling. So I don't know if he knew what was going on, but this was March 10th of 2021. But this narrative that brothers are scared of police and all this stuff, gunshots go off and he asking police, so now what? So now what? Like, I have never understood that black men are scared of the police. Like, I don't know any dudes who's scared of the police, honestly. Maybe the educated lanes, because they're eating up, you know, what's going down in the media.
New information tonight on the death of a man killed in Philadelphia. 6 people have been arrested and charged. The man was killed on December 27th after he was struck by a stray bullet at his home.
Yep. So we did this story, and they ended up arresting a guy who, you know, remember on Thanksgiving Day was, I believe, that Hispanic brother who lost his life to a random gunshot wound. And they finally got the guy.
WTOK News 11's Nicholas Brooks has more details in our top story tonight.
A Monday night shooting took the life of 31-year-old Tommy Warren.
Well, I guess I was mistaken because this is a whole different guy. But if there were 2 stray bullet shootings in Philadelphia on Thanksgiving, which, you know, I wouldn't put it past them because we all see that Philadelphia came out of the year with 560 murders. So, that's crazy. That this isn't even the guy that I did the story on.
1-year-old Tommy Warren. Police say the shooting was caused by two rival gangs, and Warren was caught in the crossfire. Philadelphia Police Chief Eric Lyons says they received a call reporting shots fired around 7 p.m. at Martin Luther King Jr. Drive.
I mean, the irony, the irony of all these, everywhere where there's like hella shootings, it's always on like some historic black figures street or road. It's like brothers really just don't have any respect for not only elders, but, you know, leaders in the black community. As you can see, there's graffiti on the Martin Luther King Jr. Drive sign. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Officers were informed that the 31-year-old Warren was taken to a local hospital in a private vehicle, but police say Warren died after being airlifted to Jackson. I spoke with the investigator who is working on this case.
There were two rival gangs that were shooting at each other, and our victim was caught in the crossfire. We have 6 arrested, 4 charged with murder.
Wow. And
4 charged.
They look rough.
We have 6.
They look rough. My man right here in the middle, his teeth is, you know, doing a 2-step.
6 arrested, 4 charged with.
And they even got a female out here shooting. I mean, this guy right here to the left, he looked like he's smiling. And it looks like they took their mugshots in like a cafeteria of a high school or something. But wow. Woo, Philly is crazy right now, man. And I don't know if they're going to be able to switch any of that.
With murder and aggravated assault, 1 charged with accessory after the fact, and another charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault.
A man that lives on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive says he knew Warren. He says that Warren was a man of God that gave so much back to his community.
I know the guy. He goes to Mount Nebo down here. He plays in the, play the piano, sing, play the drum in the church.
Wow. And it hurts even more when it was a good brother who got taken out. He's active in the church, active in the community, giving back, and you know, just life cut short.
His parents, mom and them in the church, you know, and I know we be having shootings around here every weekend, sometime through the week, but
dang, the old timers keeping it a buck though. He said they got shootings through the weekend, sometimes every week.
We really had no killings, not like this one that happened the other day. It just tragedy.
Everyone that knew Warren is grieving the loss of a person that was a son and a father.
We just praying for the family because, you know, we don't know when the funeral is going to be, but we just praying and, you know, hoping the family can get something out of this because, you know, they won't never get their son back and them little kids won't never get their daddy back. So they got to grow up without a father. So, you know, it's hard.
Police say Warren was not a target and was hit by a stray bullet. In Philadelphia, Nicholas Brooks, WTOK News 11.
The investigation continues as more arrests are pending.
Half hour with the latest on a deadly shooting that played out at the store in North Philadelphia. Police say the victim here was fighting back against a robber in the deli when the gunfire rang out. Action News reporter Catherine Scott now with the latest.
This corner store is right on Broad Street. It's normally really busy here around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the time of this fatal shooting.
In the last few weeks, there was a shooting around a quarter from my house. There was a shooting the bullets went through one of my offices.
Just weeks after bullets.
Wow. I mean, listen to what this brother just said. He said there was a shooting near his house, and one of the bullets went through his office.
In the last few weeks, there was a shooting around a quarter from my house. There was a shooting the bullets went through one of my offices.
Just weeks after bullets pierced State Senator Sharif Street's office in Germantown, a fatal shooting right down the block from a different office of Street's in North Philadelphia. Police say a 38-year-old man was killed at Broad and Susquehanna around 4 p.m. Monday as he struggled with a robbery suspect.
We knew something bad was going on, but we couldn't tell exactly what was going on. And again, within minutes, police cars were coming from every direction.
Police say the entire incident was caught on surveillance video.
And I think Philadelphia is just a result of, and they got the Temple University police, so you know it was very near campus. Because those police officers, they're pretty much regulated to campus. But if it's, you know, a very near surrounding area, then they'll show up to give more assistance on developing what went down in this crime scene. But Philadelphia is a result of the Democratic leadership, okay? The soft on crime DA, right? Bail reform, the city council trying to make it easier for criminals to be able to drive around. It's not looking like there's a end in sight.
A dark vehicle pulled up to Broad Deli. A man and woman got out of the back seat. The man first robbed people at an inside ATM at gunpoint. Police say he then approached the 38-year-old victim.
So he got guilty. I mean, he got greedy. He was robbing the ATM. Then he approached the store owner.
Looked like he was purchasing some items when the shooter approached him and pointed a gun at his head. And the victim clearly is seen pushing the gun away.
The two struggled. Shots were fired as the fight spilled onto the sidewalk. The victim was shot and killed, and the man and woman fled. This nearby store owner heard the shots.
I heard 4-time fire. Shot. Okay. Then I scared.
Police say the suspect was wearing a yellow or orange reflective jacket, tan pants with shorts pulled over, and a red or
tan pants with shorts pulled over. Red or orange hat recovered by police. Guys, by the description of the fit, I know who this is. Who wears that many different colors? Yellow, red, orange. This man looking like a basket of fruit assortments.
or orange hat, which fell off as he fled and police picked up. As for Street, he expressed the urgency for reducing accessibility of firearms and the need for police presence to deter crime.
I don't think it changes the formula as to what needs to be done, but it does certainly remind us that just because there's a new year, we still have the same old problems.
It doesn't change the formula of what needs to be done. You could tell Buddy is woke with the cryptic language. He's not speaking straight up to the problem like the old timer was. Old timer said shootings happening all the time. People not necessarily getting killed, but shootings happening all the time. And now we know that people are getting killed. But by who?
Police did recover the suspect's car. It has since been towed for evidence. In North Philadelphia, Catherine Scott, Channel 6 Action News.
Violent evening in the city of Philadelphia. Right now, a manhunt is underway for whoever shot and killed a customer at a North Philadelphia deli. Shawnette, what can you tell us?
Well, Dawn, this all happened with 2 employees and 7 customers inside. Police say a man lost his life fighting a gunman who pointed a weapon to his face.
About 5 or 6 gunshots.
Justin Dunlap ran to the door of C&P Beauty Store where he works just before 4 o'clock this evening, not expecting what he saw.
A person hanging, laying on the ground.
Police say the victim is a 39-year-old man, shot at least once in the chest after a robbery inside Broad Deli at Broad and Susquehanna in North Philly. They found the victim face down on the sidewalk. Witness accounts and surveillance cameras revealed this started at the ATM inside the store.
Our shooter, a male, comes in the store with a female, walks up to individuals at the ATM, points a gun at them, appears to be committing a robbery because the individuals at the ATM put their hands up.
Police.
See, you got a brother going in and robbing the ATM with another woman. Obviously, she's an accomplice. She should be held accountable. But what is it with these women dealing with these Pookies and Ray Rays? It's like they can't get away from it. Remember the shooting in Buckhead? I don't even know if they've located those people yet.
Say after that, the suspects approached the 39-year-old victim at the checkout counter.
You see the shooter put a gun to the victim's face, and our victim actually pushes the gun away. Then they get into a physical struggle.
Police say the fight then moves outside the store, where it ends with the suspect firing 2 shots, also caught on camera.
And, you know, ultimately, the moral of the story is in Philadelphia, just give it up. Just give it up. At this point, you understand that these people are willing to kill you or die about robbing you. So that's all you can do. Be a victim. Because nothing politically is going to change until real pressure is applied and somebody in the upper echelons starts to feel what the streets really have to offer.
And you see our 39-year-old victim suddenly just collapse, go right down, face first.
Investigators say they found shell casings from 2 separate caliber semi-automatic guns. They believe the shooter had both and also fired 1 shot inside the store. The man and woman got into the backseat of a car waiting on Susquehanna. Police say this hat the gunman was wearing fell off as they fled. They hope to get prints or DNA from it. Dunlap thought about the violence while watching the scene from his job.
I just think it need to come to a stop. I think we need to start loving each other.
We need to start loving each other, bruh. These dudes is, I mean, I know he meant well, but these dudes is stuck on stupid. We need to start loving each other. It ain't about that. And that ain't finna happen. You know niggas be hating, bruh. So why would you even say something like that? Why would you even say, oh, we need to start loving each other? Bruh, they've been preaching that for the longest. Black love, Black Lives Matter. We gotta love ourselves. Like, bro, it don't work. What they need to do is start locking some of these bros up, not letting them get back out, and giving them years. And then other people will see, oh, you can't just do a crime and then get back out on the streets. You can't just get bonded out, you know, on a robbery turned homicide.
And late tonight, police found that getaway car at 9th and Lehigh. But again, at this hour, they are still looking for the suspects. Dawn.
All right, Shawnette Wilson live for us at police headquarters.
A Hazlehurst police officer responds to a shooting only to find the victim is her own son. The incident happened on Larkin Street yesterday morning, just a few blocks away from the police department.
And this one is crazy. This is in Mississippi. So this is happening everywhere, guys. This is happening everywhere. Imagine you're a police officer. Female police officer, male, it doesn't matter. You respond to a shooting on Larkin Street. You get there. Hey, you know, that guy kind of looks familiar. You start approaching the body. And it's your son. It's your son. That's how bad the crime is. The crime is so bad that if a police officer responds to a shooting, they may find the victim, and that person may be related to the police officer, or they might know them personally.
3 on Your Side's Holly Emery speaks with the mother about her heartbreak and painful discovery.
Early Sunday morning, Officer Laquandia Cooley responded to a shooting here on Larkin Street, but little did she know she was about to walk into her worst nightmare.
We initially responded to the call, not knowing when I made it over there, the person was going to be my son.
And, you know, shout out to Laquandia, very strong black woman. Obviously a police officer trying to provide for her family. You know, no tears in this interview. She still may be in shock. But to get up here and speak about the situation, you know, it takes a lot of guts. And this is an example of, you know, trying to police your own. Well, we need to police our own, and we got to take control of, like, this is what she's doing. She joined the force to police her own. And then these little nuggets in the street took that from her.
That was laying there.
20-year-old Charles Stewart Jr. was laying in the middle of the street after being shot in the head. When his mother, Officer Cooley, arrived at the scene, he had already died.
As we get out, I look and I'm like, this is my son. This is my son. So I initially just go into a breakdown, like, you know, why? Who would do this to my son?
And that's a sight Officer Cooley says she'll never forget.
I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. My own son laying there on the ground dead. It was pretty much on a panic. It was too much.
Stewart Jr.'s father, Charles Stewart, says he was a good person who got along with everyone and didn't bother anyone. So when he found out that his son was killed, he couldn't believe it.
It's traumatizing for the whole family, you know. We just trying to cope day to day, you know, just trying to figure out why this happened.
And the thing is, you know, hopefully he wasn't involved in anything, but in the community, you don't have to be involved in anything to lose your life. You don't have to be involved in anything. You just be walking down the street or sitting in your home, a stray bullet come in, or, you know, you go into the ATM and somebody rob you and you ain't going, so you fighting back and then they kill you. You don't have to be involved in anything.
You know, who could have did this?
Chief Darian Murray says because the case involves an officer's family member, the case will be handed over to MBI. In Hazlehurst, Holly Emery, 3 on your side.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.